This video will demonstrate the proper procedure for setting up and using the KATO KFS-30 Cordless Driver with the KATO Prewinder Installation Tool. Let's begin by reviewing each component. This is the lithium-ion battery and battery charger. On the top of the charger, you will find the battery light indicator. On the back, you will find a connection for the power cord. Above is the battery charger cavity. To begin, plug the power cord. Insert the battery into the cavity. The charger will beep and the red LED will turn on. When the battery has reached 80% charge, the yellow LED will illuminate. Once fully charged, the green LED will illuminate and the charger will beep. Please note, it takes between 45 minutes to an hour to fully charge the battery. KATO strongly recommends allowing the battery to fully charge to 100% before operating the driver. The next component is the KFS-30 Cordless Driver. Here you have the trigger. On the back, there is a switch for forward, neutral, and reverse. Even though this is an automatically reversing tool, it is important to note the location of the switch to change the speed setting. Set the switch to neutral and insert the battery into the back of the driver. Make sure the battery is inserted in the proper orientation. Snap into place. Above the switch is the light indicator. This will identify the speed setting, thermal, and battery safety mode. To switch the speed setting from low to high, or vice versa, press and hold the trigger for 5 seconds while the driver is in the neutral position. The blue LED will blink 5 times and then turn off. If the green LED illuminates, the driver speed is set to low. If the blue LED illuminates, the driver speed is set to high. For the maximum number of cycles per charge, KATO recommends using the low speed setting. To increase productivity for larger thread sizes, use the high speed setting. Keep in mind, this will reduce your battery life. Next component is the front end assembly. This is the part you will swap out for different insert types and thread sizes. The KFS-30 Cordless Driver can install both tangless and tanged inserts. The two major components of the front end assembly are the Prewinder body and the mandrel. Note, the Prewinder body is stamped with the thread size. Inside the tangless mandrel is a spring-loaded pivoting pawl. This is the part that will grab the insert and drive it into the STI tapped hole. Alternatively, the tanged mandrel has a drive contour that makes contact with the tang radius and drives the insert into the STI tapped hole. The standard front end assembly also includes 3 spacers and 4 shims, 3 thin and 1 thick. The spacers and shims control how far the mandrel travels into the STI tapped hole. Using one of the spacers and 1 or more shims will allow you to fine-tune the depth adjustment for your particular application. The smallest spacer is for 2 diameter inserts. The medium spacer is for 1.5 diameter inserts. And the largest spacer is for 1 diameter inserts. For this demonstration, we are using a 2 diameter insert, so we will need to use the smallest spacer. Thread the mandrel completely out of the Prewinder body. Slide the small spacer over the mandrel. And then partially thread the mandrel back into the Prewinder body. Do not thread the mandrel all the way back into the Prewinder body. Threading it about halfway is good enough. Make sure to check the installation depth before assembling the tool. Here's a tip to help you check the installation depth. While holding the Prewinder body perpendicular to the tapped hole, turn the mandrel and install the insert manually. Once the insert is fully installed, thread the mandrel out of the insert. Now, check the installation depth. Adjust as necessary by adding or subtracting shims. The final component is the adapter. The adapter acts as a bridge between the cordless driver and the front end assembly. The threads on the adapter are left-hand threads. Ensure that the magnet is not located inside the hex shaft. If so, thread the removal screw into the magnet and pull out. Set components in a safe place. To assemble, remove the protective collar. Remember, the threads are left-handed, so turn clockwise to loosen. Slide the adapter over the front of the cordless driver and turn counterclockwise to tighten. A good hand tightening is all that is needed. Do not over-tighten. Notice the window in the adapter. This provides access to the torque adjusting knob. It controls how much torque is applied during installation. You simply rotate the knob clockwise to increase the installation torque and counterclockwise to decrease the torque. At the front of the adapter is the lock nut. Remember, the threads are left-handed, so turn clockwise to loosen. Slide the mandrel into the cordless driver. You may need to rotate the mandrel a few flats to ensure proper alignment with the hex shaft. The mandrel should freely slide all the way into the hex shaft. Place the lock nut over the front end assembly and tighten by turning counterclockwise. Before fully tightening the lock nut, rotate the front end assembly so that it is positioned for operator comfort and preference. Once again, a good hand tightening is all that is needed. The front end assembly is designed to work with bulk and strip feed inserts. However, it's optimal to use with strip feed inserts. Towards the tip of the front end assembly, notice the strip feed slot. Slide the plastic strip through the slot. Once the insert is in the well and the strip cannot be pulled through the slot any further, the insert is lined up with the mandrel and ready to be installed. To demonstrate the capability of the KFS-30 Cordless Driver, we set up the driver with the KATO articulating torque arm and set it to install tangless inserts. Although it is not required, we strongly recommend the use of the KATO linear or articulating torque arm during installation. It is the best way to ensure the tool is perpendicular to the work surface, eliminate costly errors, avoid damage to the installation mandrel assembly, reduce operator fatigue, and minimize repetitive use injuries while boosting productivity. For this example, we will be using a bulk insert. Hold the tool perpendicular to the hole. Avoid holding it at an angle. This can cause the installation to fail and may damage the installation tool. Always use the minimum amount of torque that will install the insert. Begin with the low torque setting. Set the switch to the forward position and press the trigger to activate the cordless driver. This will cause the driver to automatically reverse before the insert fully installs. Note, the insert started to enter the hole, but the driver reversed automatically because the torque wasn't enough. Use the window opening in the adapter to turn the torque adjustment knob half a turn and try again. Repeat this process until the insert fully installs. Check the installation depth and adjust as necessary. For holes with a countersink, you want to be 3/4 to 1.5 threads below the surface. It is very important to remember this driver has an auto-reversing feature. Once you press the trigger, do not release it. After the insert is installed, the mandrel will bottom out and cause the cordless driver to reverse. Continue to hold the trigger until the mandrel exits the installed insert and has retracted far enough back to clear the well for the next insert. Releasing the trigger will reset the driver, and pressing the trigger again will cause the tool to turn clockwise. If you accidentally release the trigger early, simply press it again and the tool will re-enter the installed insert, bottom out, and reverse. Alternatively, you can flip the forward reverse switch on the driver to the reverse position. But be sure to put the switch back to the forward position before attempting to install the next insert. Try to prevent the mandrel from reversing too far back and bottoming out inside the shaft. You will hear a click sound when this occurs. This will cause the mandrel to jam and may require several taps of the trigger to unjam it. With practice, you will learn the proper timing to release the trigger before the mandrel bottoms out. Now that the torque and installation depth are set correctly, we will install some more inserts. Please note, due to variations of the tapped holes, it may be necessary to increase the torque once more during production use. As you can see, setting up and using the KFS-30 Cordless Driver with the KATO Prewinder installation tool is fast and easy. In addition, the KFS-30 driver is portable, quiet, and ideal for clean room applications. It's one of the best power tool options for users of strip feed coil thread inserts, and it's only available from KATO. Thank you for watching this instructional video, and for more information, please visit our website.